It's interesting. You know, I think about how they say idle hands is the devil's workshop. That's what I think about when I think about that. It's like it seems like it's just something to kind of keep you busy too. Like maybe just to practice on your focus. I think it probably keeps you mentally healthy. You know, a lot of us. I think that we have an epidemic of like the Alzheimer's and all of these different um, mental degenerative diseases like Parkinson's and so forth. And I think a lot of it is related to like our easy ass life where we don't have to think and shit. And we don't practice and work out that muscle. So I think that's part of it. And just keeping your hands busy, actually, moving, kind of creating something, it keeps your focus. Hmm. That's probably what it's for. And then it's probably kind of like a prayer. You know, sometimes I think that people don't really understand prayers completely because I think about the creatures. People talk about the creatures of the world and how they pray, and and it'll be like a dance or a posture or something like that, like that for that they do that seems like it's for no reason at all. And that's what I think. So freaking humans, we do it too. We have prayers that we do that are non-verbal, you know. And I think that something like this that we played in this video is like that. It's like a prayer. It's kind of like giving thanks. Anyways, let me read the caption. It says, the Wiwi tribe in Colombia's Sierra Nevada mountains have lived harmoniously with nature for thousands of years. Here, the tribe shows us how they work to keep their ancient culture alive in a rapidly modernizing world. Let me read some comments. It says, I'm Colombian, and it's sad to see them not get the recognition they deserve. Another comment. That's a very good dramatic story told in under 3 minutes. Well done. And such beautiful people living such beautiful lives in such a stunning, magical place. I think the civilized world is many years away from still trying to convince ourselves how much better off we are with cars, jobs, houses, wives, debt, etc., etc. Telling you, man. Telling you, man. The way they lived was sustainable, and a lot of the indigenous around the world found equilibrium with the environment around them, and that's what allowed them to continue for thousands of years. I don't think our modern civilization is gonna make it like that. It's gonna have to change because the way we move is unsustainable. We're not in balance with nature. We're totally out of balance. We're totally out of whack, and it cannot continue this way. So at some point, we're gonna be living something like that because that's what's natural for us, and that's how we fit into the ecosystem. We just need to find a way to build our cities. Maybe we don't need like big, huge metropolis type cities, but who knows? I don't know. I saw that thing when Saudi Arabia is trying to build this like line city. I think that's freaking interesting as hell, and it's supposed to kind of work with nature. So I just think that we need to build with nature in mind, and we have to build with this fitting into the cycle of recycling things and keeping, a sustainable, like the Native Americans, they had this thing where they like leave it how you found it. Like I'm probably saying it wrong, but it's like they don't want to leave an impact on nature once they move on. And that's another reason why they were kind of like they would move around a lot. They had seasonal places that they lived. And that's the same reason why the will, because people like to say, oh, they're backwards and they were behind. They didn't even have the will. Like they're Stone Age. And that's just from their perspective, because the will leads all the way into that direction of the destruction of the environment and not leaving it how you found it. The technology that they used left it how they found it. That's more advanced than our technology because we can't do that. Let me read another comment. It says, the Indians of Bogota Highlands in the eastern Cordilleras of Colombia relate some of their tribal reminiscences to the time before there was a moon. In the earliest times when the moon was not yet in the heavens, says the tribesmen of Chibichas. Anyone know where I can find more information on these tales of mankind predating the moon? Greeks and Romans also wrote of indigenous peoples of Europe claiming to be pre-lunar folk. Wow, I've never heard that before, and I've done a lot of freaking studying in this area, so that is surprising to me. So maybe, maybe it's just something I never came across, but that's interesting. I don't know how that could be, I guess, but, they don't even really know how the moon got, like, how do we have such a huge moon? Like, I don't think there's another planet in our solar system that has a moon that big in comparison to its size. So, and then it's kind of weird that we have just the one moon too. Like it's the moon is strange, in our solar system. And they think that there was a high impact that happened, like like basically another like planet-sized, another planet hit Earth. And that's kind of how we got the moon, with the leftover parts coalescing together. And then they think that that could have given us our wobble that we have, that gives us our seasons. Well, the lean, the tilt. So that's interesting, but I don't know that if let's say it was a case where there was a huge freaking planet-sized object that hits the Earth in its history, and let's say there was humans here at that time, how could they possibly make it through that? Like, I don't see the human race surviving that. I think that would be an extinction level event for most of the creatures on the planet. A lot of the creatures on the planet, very few would make it through that. And I just don't see humans making it through that. That's not like, that's bigger than what they say killed the dinosaurs, which science is kind of iffy on that now too, even though they've been saying that for years. There's more data that's coming out, that because the time frame of it is longer, so the asteroid could have had an impact, but that may have not been what actually took the dinosaurs out. So, but anyways, we're talking about something that's even bigger than what they said took out the asteroid. I mean, the dinosaurs. So I just don't see how humans could make it through that. So that may be some kind of like super fantasy type stuff, even though I'm into that sometimes. Let me read another comment. It says, can you tell me about the sacred Columbanites? When I hold them, I feel very connected and recharged. Another comment, it says, God protect them. They are the Earth's guardians, and one day this society will have to look to them and learn from them to save our world. We should do that now, but we still think we are the smart ones. Man, that's a great comment. I'm going to copy and paste this one, because this is exactly what I think too. I think that at some point, so that's why we have to keep them alive. We have to make sure that there's some indigenous people somewhere in the world that has preserved their way, because we're going to need that, because that's going to be the only way that humans going to be able to continue to survive on this planet. At some point, we're going to realize it, and we're going to be like, all right, so the way we've been living is unsustainable. We're destroying the environment, destroying the planet. We're going to make it to the point where it's not So that's what people don't understand is like they want to talk about climate change or whatever, be like, did humans have impact on it or did they not? That argument is beside the point. The question is, are humans going to be able to survive this or not? Okay? So the way we've been doing things is having a negative impact on our own freaking existence, like our opportunity to continue as a species. So at some point we're going to realize that, and then we're going to look at these indigenous people and we're going to be like, okay, we need to really, really, really look at this and see, how, because it be those religious, like the same stuff they call paganism and stuff. It in those random rituals that the indigenous people can't really explain why they do it, and that tend to be the stuff related to conserving the environment and keeping shit in balance, and that because it just be stuff that's handed down over generations and generations. They've totally lost really why they do it, and but they still do it. But what happens is, as a result, it ends up being something that keeps things from getting too crazy, from keeping things from going too far and over excess. So, like I say, I think that at some point we're going to realize that, for us to continue as a species, we're going to have to go back and look at how they did things. I really believe that's going to happen. That's why I'm an anthropologist. This is what I study. Like, I'm so interested in this kind of stuff. Like, and I really believe that the information that these indigenous people have are going to be so valuable. It's going to be the most valuable stuff on the planet for us to continue. And we're going to have to really, really, really study it and dissect it and try to figure out how we can use that information to keep us going. Because we're going to have to model our societies in different ways. We're going to have to structure our societies in different ways.
Yeah. Just woke up.
Anyways, freaking